right, everybody, Rob Ferretti here, and you may know me from such things as my YouTube channel, which we're on now, and also my company, Gotham Dream Cars. Gotham Dream Cars, we rent out exotic cars, and through the years, we had to come up with ways to generate more utilization during the week, because during the weekends, the cars go out. During the week, like today, some of them tend to sit around. Now, we did something we invented called the Dream Car Tour, right? Because we had enough cars, and we're like, all right, we got 6 cars lying around the middle of the week. How do we get them out? Let's get a bunch of customers together, lower the price point, and we'll do a little driving event. And that's called the Dream Car Tour. Now, the Dream Car Tour will go out and you get to drive a Ferrari and a Lamborghini and a Porsche and whatever. We mix a bunch of cars. Great time. We go driving through the great Bear Mountain State Park up in Harriman in New York, and people love it. It's like an experience that some people do every year. Other people come and it's the best drive of their life, but they have a great time because they get to drive like I get to do every day, because we'll lead them and show them a good pace, and they have a great time. Anyway, the downside to that is we used to check in the cars and check out the cars in between each driver, because now when you have a rental contract, like right now for the tour, they're filling out a rental contract that has 6 cars on it. So that adds an element of who done it, right? And that's the only problem I have with the tours, is it's a little bit on the honor system. And back in the day, we would have to go through, and each changeover, we would check in and check out each car, but that added time to the experience. It made it longer and it's less efficient. And there was rarely ever any damage, or if somebody damages something, like, hey, I hit a hole and like the wheel's hanging off or something like that, or we had that guy who flipped the Lambo. Clearly, he's upside down. Who did it? The guy in the car. So we generally don't have issues like that, but here it rears its ugly head again with my Ferrari. We had a tour a couple of weeks ago, and it's one of those things. There was 5 customers on it, and after 3 of them, we had the 4th one said, like, hey, just want to let you know there's a big chip in the windshield. And not like a chip like a tick, 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 like a little like rock chip or something like that. It was a legitimate, like, right in front of the driver. I mean, look at this. Like, right in front of the driver, you've got a rock. And if you've ever hit a rock with your window, that's big, right? When you're sitting in there looking at this, you know this is your field of view. You know that happened to you. So that's why the guy got in the car. So now I've got 3 possible guys that did it. So now either I have to be like, who done it? Or somebody should have said something. If they hadn't said something already, it's a glass claim. It doesn't cost you anything, right? You just say, hey, I got a rented car and I got a rock chip in the windshield. So, and it's, yes, it's a more expensive windshield than a traditional windshield, but it's still, it doesn't go against your insurance. It's just they're paying for the windshield. Now that somebody didn't tell me, we have to go back and start pointing fingers at customers and hoping somebody fesses up to it. Well, I didn't see it. Well, I saw it, but it wasn't like it. It ruins everybody's experience. So here I have to eat the windshield. So the thing I'm doing to generate revenue during the week has negated down to 0, because I just put 120 miles on 6 different cars, and then I have to eat a windshield. So that is something I call in my business mystery damage, because it's either something that an employee misses when it's, and this has been going on for years, right? It's one of those things, you have to factor in a line item in your financials for mystery damage every year, because the only consistent thing is there's always some damage that either a delivery guy misses, or girl misses at the time of check-in or check-out, or a customer tries to sneak in, like when they sneak a new tire on the car or something like that, and it's like a mismatched used tire. I got to throw it away. I got to change the tires. I've had people swap parts on the car before. That all comes out to mystery damage. And you know what? Sometimes it's an employee damage in between the rental, right? Loading it onto the trailer, backs into a curb or something like that because it's late, or whatever the situation is, they cause the damage. I had an employee not strap the 2 rear straps on the trailer, and he just pulled the thing up against the chocks, hit the brakes, car comes forward, smashes into the back of my truck. And I'm like, what were you thinking? And he thought just by having the wheel chocks here and strapping it against the wheel chocks that the car wouldn't move. As he's driving out to the Hamptons, which is 180 miles of like stop and go traffic, next thing you know, he Evel Knievel's the car right into the back of the truck. I got a damaged truck, I got a damaged car, and I have to eat that damage. And that one was easier to assign blame to, because clearly it's the guy driving the truck who was the guy who's got 4 straps and only put 2 on, and he claimed the 2 straps in the back broke and fell off. Like clearly we know the true story there. And the fact that he threw 2 straps into the woods after that to try to like justify his story, even dumber. Obviously it doesn't work here anymore. But that's not the first. I've got my new trucks outside. Let's go take a peek at these. I got my trucks over here, and I looked one day and I was like, what the hell happened to my, like I've got the ramp truck. This is the old one. This is the new one that's been built already. And I look over and I say, what is this? Somebody backed into the front of the truck. And yeah, it's a work truck, but somebody, you backed into something, right? You were backing up, you had resistance, and you're like, oh, I must have backed into something. And I bet you somebody backed that truck into this truck trying to get in here, and they don't say anything. Now, instead of me trying to figure out who it is, I'm trying to figure out who's dishonest. And that drives me nuts. So if you damage something, just speak up. Hey, boss, just want to let you know, and don't call me boss, but like, hey, Rob, just want to let you know, I backed into the truck. I was late. Whatever. Like, as long as it wasn't I was drunk. The fact that you backed into it, not a big deal, we'll get it fixed, but it's a brand new piece of equipment that's now damaged. So the net result here is I have a damaged windshield. I'm gonna essentially make nothing on the tour because all the money I would have made on the tour goes to paying for a new windshield for this car, and that's no fun, right? And there's no way to really fix that. The goal is to try to mitigate how much mystery damage you experience during the course of the year. I budget about 10 grand a year in like mystery damage, which is fair and something to expect. I didn't budget when they smashed the car into the truck. That was more than that. Stuff like that really sucks. And even though, like, what are you going to do? I can't dock that guy. He's fired, unfortunately, for not doing his job properly. But that's a situation that mystery damage, it could have been the guy who's like, hey, I saw there was a rock chip, and he's trying to default to the other guys before him and make it seem like he's the one who told you, so he's not the one that had the rock chip. But damage on cars, especially expensive cars, sucks. If you're doing something and you damage it, just fess up, right? It's a better way to sleep at night, not thinking that you slipped one by me, but we're putting together a fair product at a fair price, and we do make money doing it, but we don't make money when somebody damages something and then I have to pay for it. That's not built into the business model of each individual event, and it's not really fair to put that burden on us. So if you guys want to drive a bunch of cars and you're semi-truthful people that you're going to damage something, let me know. Damage is very rare, and that's why we don't do the walk-arounds on each car in between each session anymore, because that's 6 check-ins and check-outs every time we go in and out. It's just rough. And that's something I'm telling you. If you've ever gotten like a rock chip, you hear that rock, and you get a rock chip that big that requires a windshield to be replaced, you definitely know because it was coming at your face. So say something, right? Say something, be nice, do the right thing. It doesn't cost you anything. It's a glass claim on your insurance. Instead, it's out of my pocket. I'm not going to make a claim on that. I can't make a claim on that. And I spend a couple of $1,000, which sucks. Thank you for watching. If you guys want to try out the Dream Car Tour, we're done for the year. But if you want to try it out in 2024, the dates will be listed right around Thanksgiving, GothamDreamCars.com. You can come out, drive with us, and have a great time driving a bunch of cars for about $1,200.